check one, two, three, and let's start where I actually left. So actually today I was traveling for the whole day and I'm so exhausted. I'm just going to read something that will just complete my reading task today. And if it's very much interesting, then of course I'm going to continue. But let's see what. Actually, the number of books completed in is a vanity metric. As you know, more leave more books unfinished. Focus on new concepts with positive power. So, what was the last thing that I actually read? Oh yeah, I actually remember just when I said I completed my first part. So the second part is happiness, right? So yeah, and I'm in the frame, right? Okay. Okay. So the second part is happiness. So I think this will be more like okay. Let's just not think about any possibilities and make assumptions. Okay. The three big ones in life are wealth, health, and happiness. And also on internet, I actually read it somewhere like health. Well, in other book, I think it was in other book. Of course, I saw something like not specifically. I saw myself, but I read it somewhere. Anyways, it was written health, wealth, happiness, and relationships. Also, there was relationships. Four things. So, yeah. The three big ones in life are wealth, health, and happiness. We pursue them in that order, but their importance is reversed. Okay, building happiness. Don't take yourself so seriously. You are just a monkey with a plan. Happiness is learned. 10 years ago, if you would have asked me how happy I was, I would have dismissed the question. I didn't want to talk about it. On a scale 1 to 10, I would have said, um, 10 years ago, I would have asked myself how happy I was. I would have dismissed the question. I did not. Also, I think there because of this braces thing, not every time, but some amount of time, I think that is the reason I fumble. Like I can, it has been it's like more than 6 months, and it's just now that in my like daily routine and it's a habit. So I actually don't quite remember, but as long as I know that it was about 1 or 2 weeks, and I was like, I can see myself fumbling very much because of this basis thing. Also, like, so yeah, let's see if after 6 months or 7 months I can change this whole fumbling thing. 10 years ago, I would have asked myself, asked me how happy I was. I would have dismissed the question. I didn't want to talk about it. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would have said 2 to 10 or 3 to 10, maybe 4 to 10 on my best days. But I did. Today, I am 9 out of 10. And yes, having money helps, but it's actually a very simple piece of it. Most of it comes from learning over the years of my over the years of my own happiness is the most important thing to me, and I have cultivated it with a lot of techniques. Maybe happiness is not something you inherit or even choose, but a highly personal skill that can be learned, like fitness and nutrition. Happiness is very evolving thing. I think like all the great questions when you are a little kid, I actually had the meditation, like I forgot about that book. So I'm just going to put this book on my desk right here, and I'll just. I'm so excited actually. I am really excited to read this book because, and of course, I have read some quotes and a little amount of like a short amount of story I know about him. But if it is in more detail, then I'm just so excited. So I just put this right here, and I don't think it's like it will. It will take 1 week or more than 1 week. Also, there is. I'm also looking to read more novels, and I'm trying to change genre. I think, but I'm really excited. And if I would have asked me how happy I was, I would have okay. Maybe happiness is not something you inherit or even choose, but a highly personal skill that can be done, like fitness or nutrition. Happiness is a very evolving thing. Getting disrupted. I think now. I just have to like I have to make sure that setup is already set before I start. Happiness is a very evolving thing. I think, like all the great questions, when you are a little kid, go to your mom and ask, what happens when we die? Is there a Santa Claus? Is there a God? Should I be happy? Who should I marry? These kinds of things, there are no glib answer because no answer apply to everybody. These kinds of questions actually ultimately do have answers, but they have personal answers. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, and I was thinking from a long time. Also, there are so many things written about what happens after we die. Like, there are so many things I have, how can I say? it in English actually. Like, what's the word I can use very accurately to describe that statement and situation and whatever it is. So forget about it. I'm not going to say right now. I have to think, and I want to say the exact same thing. That's why I'm just keeping right now. Okay. For some people, I know it's a flow. No, the the answer that works for me is going to be nonsense to you, and vice versa. Whatever happens means to me means something different to you. I think it's very important to explore what these definitions are. For some people, I know it's a flow state. For some people, it's satisfaction. For some people, it's a feeling of contentment. So the answer works for me is going to be nonsense to you, and vice versa. Whatever happens, whatever happiness means to me, it means something different to you. All right, no more distraction. I need to. Okay, there. For some people, it's a feeling of contentment. My definition keeps evolving. The answer I would have given you a year ago would be different than what I tell you now. Today, I believe happiness is really a default state. Happiness is there when you remove the sense of something missing in your life. We are highly judgment. I also have a idea about this live stream that I am doing. It's like right now I'm just like recording myself for myself maybe, and if someone is interested, but right now I'm just recording myself. But I have some plans maybe, but let's just focus on this right now. We are highly judgmental survival and application machines. We constantly walk around thinking, I need this or I need that. Trapped in the web of desires, happiness is the state when nothing is missing. When nothing is missing, your mind shuts down and stop running into the past or future to regret something or to plan something. In the absence for a moment, you have internal silence. When you have internal silence, then you are content and you are happy. Feel free to disagree. Again, it's different for everybody. People mistakenly believe happiness is just about positive thoughts and positive actions. The more I have read, the more I have learned, and the more I have experienced because I verified this for myself. Every positive thought essentially holds within it a negative thought. It is a contrast to something negative. The Tao teaching says this more articulately than I ever could, but it's a duality and polarity. If I say I'm happy, that means I was sad at some point. If I say he's attractive, then somebody else is attractive. If I say he's attractive, then somebody else is attractive. Every position thought ever has a seed of a negative thought. If I say I am happy, that means I was sad at some point. Okay. If I say he's attractive, then somebody else is unattractive. Very positive thought ever has a seed of a negative thought within it, and vice versa. Which is why a lot of greatness in life comes out of suffering. You have to view the negative before you can aspire to and appreciate the positive negative thoughts. It's about the absence of desire, especially the absence of desire for external things. The fewer desires I can have, the more I can accept the current state of things, the less my mind is moving because the mind really exists in motion towards the future or the past. The more present I am, the happier and more content I will be. If I latch onto a feeling, if I say, oh, I am happy now, I want to stay happy, then I am going to drop out of that happiness. And now suddenly, mind is moving, it's trying to attach to something, it's trying to create a permanent situation out of a temporary situation. Happiness to me is mainly not suffering, not desiring, not thinking too much about the future or the past. Really embracing the present moment and the reality of what it is and the way it is. If you ever want to have peace in your life, you have to move beyond good and evil. Nature has no concept of happiness or unhappiness. Nature follows unbroken mathematical laws and chain of cause and effect from the Big Bang to now. Everything is perfectly exactly the way it is. It is only in our particular minds we are unhappy or not happy, and things are perfectly or imperfect because of that we desire. The world just reflects your own feeling back at you. Reality is neutral. Reality has no judgments to a tree. There is no concept of right or wrong, good or bad. You are born. You have a whole set of sensory experiences and stimulation, lights, colors, and sounds, and then you die. How you choose to interpret them is up to you. You have that choice. This is what I mean when I say happiness is a choice. If you believe it's a choice, you can start working on it. There is no external force affecting your emotions as much as it may feel that way. I have also come to believe in the complete and utter insignificance of the self, and I think that helps a lot. For example, if you thought you were the most important thing in the universe, then you would have to bend the entire universe to your will. If you are the most important thing in the universe, then how could it not conform to your desires? If it doesn't conform to your desire, something is wrong. However, if you view yourself as a bacteria or an amoeba, or if you view all your work as writing on water or building castles on the sand, then you have no expectations for how life should actually be. Life is just the way it is. When you accept that, you have no cause to be happy or unhappy. Those things almost don't apply. Happiness is what's there when you remove the sense that something is missing in your life. When you're left with that neutral state is not neutrality. I think people believe neutrality would be a very bad existence. No, this is the existence little children live. If you look at a little children on balance, they are generally pretty happy because they are really immersed in the environment in the moment without any thought of how it should be given their personal preference and desire. I think the neutral state is actually a perfection state. One can be very happy as long as one isn't too caught up in their own mind. Our life, our lives are blink or a firefly in the night. You are just barely here. You have to make the most of every minute, which don't mean you chase some stupid desire for your entire life. What it means is what it means is very second you have on this planet is very precious, and it's your responsibility to make sure you are happy and interpreting everything in the best possible way. We think of ourselves as fixed and the world as malleable, but it's really we are who are malleable and the world is largely fixed. Can practicing meditation help you accept reality? Yeah, but it's amazing how little it helps. Laugh. You can be a long-term meditator, but if someone says the wrong thing in the wrong way, you go back at your ego-driven self. It's almost you are lifting 1 pound with weight, but then somebody drops a huge barbell with a stack of weight on your head. absolutely better than doing nothing. But when the actual moment of mental or emotional suffering arrives, it's still never easy. Real happiness only comes as a side effect of peace. Most of it going to come from acceptance, not from changing your external environment. A rational person can find peace by cultivating indifference to things outside of their control. I have lowered my anxiety. I don't care about things that don't really matter. I don't get involved in politics. I don't hang around on happy people. I really value my time in the art. I read philosophy. I meditate. I hang around with happy people. It works. You can very slowly but steadily and methodically improve your happiness baseline just like you can improve your fitness. Happiness is choice. Happiness, love, and passion aren't things you find, they are choice you make. When was the last thing that uh, I read something about happiness? It was about in Mark Manson book, of course. All, but not in deep. And here it is like he wrote like whole chapter of related to happiness. Not if just remove so many stories and things, other things. Then of course, if the chapter name is happiness, then there is so many things involved related to happiness. I think so. I just want to sleep now. Bye.